Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 25 of August 2021, and the time now is 6:15 a.m. Well, today is a biweekly review, and the topic I would like to talk about is actually one of the term appears in the Super Mario effect, which is the gamification. Yeah. So how about you?
Okay, the first topic I want to make a review is the Nozick uh, Experience
Mm,
Machines. Yeah.
yeah.
And the second is the Stockdale paradox.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so would you like if I start first?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the first one is the gamification. And then, yeah, I found that it is quite interesting because gamifications actually appear in many aspects in our life. And um, those I can think of includes firstly the shopping apps. Yeah, the shopping apps. We can find that they're trying to make the app uh, having a lot of points to collect, having a lot of review. Uh, I mean, having a lot of points to collect, and then having a lot of rewards, and then it also has something like a little games in the app, and then we can kind of go in and play the games just to play the games, and then we get some rewards, something like everyday check-in. We can get some points, and then these points will turns into uh, something like the discount for our next purchase. Yeah, so uh, yeah, for gamifications, actually numbers is a very effective thing. Yeah, sometimes the numbers is a real rewards and sometimes it is not. But people like to when people see numbers, we are quite sensitive. And then the next one is one learning app, a language learning app that I'm using, which is called the Open Language. And then in that app, it will also have the points. Every time if you listen to a podcast, and then they'll require you to speak every sentence, and then they give you the marks whether you speak it smoothly, and then you pronounce correctly. They'll give you a marks, and then after that, overall, after you finish speaking, listening, and then answer some questions, they will tell you that the the total marks you get, and then they will compare your marks to all the other user. Let's say if you get quite a good marks, and then they will say you have beaten 80% of other users. Yeah, something like this. So they're trying to make it like a competitions, and uh, uh, you feel like it is something like a game setting. Yep, and then also for this app, it will have something like daily check-in, and then every day if you check in, and then maybe you check in continuously for how long, and then what they will give you like a rewards, and then um, also every day you log in, and then they will calculate the minutes, the time you spend on this app, and then if you spend more than 10 minutes, only that they will count it that uh, today is a tick, and then next day you also need to spend at least 10 minutes. So it will only by that it will count it as one day check-in. Yeah, and then the next one, which is LinkedIn. Yeah, for this one, it is not only on this app, on many places. Actually, whenever we are trying to fill our profile, I mean to fill in the information uh, of our profile, and then if it is not completed, and then they like to let you know how many percent you have gone, and then how many percent left before you finish the filling of profile information. And then when people see the figure, yeah, we actually sometimes we are affected. Let's say there is a bars jump out and tell you that 10% left before you complete this profile. So I'm not sure whether this is something perfectionism or some natural reaction. Whenever we see that, it's more likely that we click in and to make it 100%. Yeah, we just don't like to see something incomplete, and then they show you the figure, how many percent to go. Yeah, and then um, the next one is something like the credit score of us, and then let's say if we do the make the payments on time every time, and then we can get a higher credit score. Yeah, for this one, maybe um, it is not that obvious because we couldn't see the score time by time, and then but it is still counted. So I think uh, for this one, it also has some elements of gamification. They're calculating how good you do, you make the payments, something like that. And then the next one is the Tune Talk, which is the telco service that I use. And then every time you reload, every time you uh, I make payment to the prepaid, and then they will have the points. Yeah, it is something like the points that I get. It can be redeemed for many things. For example, it can be redeemed uh, for your next uh, phone bill, or it can be redeemed for the Asia flight ticket. Yeah. So this kind of thing is, I think it's more related to rewards. Yeah. And then, but it also make it like having the points to collect. Yep. And then the next one is my computer security software. I mean the antivirus software, which is advanced. For advanced, and they like to show you that, let's say your computer um, is only 70% optimized. I mean the performance, and then you can just click one button, and then they'll have you to uh, boost up your performance, maybe from 70% to 90% or to 100%. Yeah, so they keep come out with these kind of things, and then every time we do it, and we feel like we complete it, we we make it. Yeah, and sometimes it will jump out automatically on my PC, and then next one is the insurance, and we have something called a no claim discount. Yeah, for this one also uh, something that we can enjoy. That is actually a reward. Yeah, and then but the condition is that we couldn't have the on damage claim. Uh, Whenever we do the claim, we make the claim, and then we will lose the no claim discount. Yeah, so the next one, yeah, the last one is actually my own experience. When I was young, it is tuition class. And then for this one, actually, my tuition teacher makes it quite directly. And yeah, I think this may not be a gamification, but it's kind of having the feeling, um, which is, let's say the class start at 7 p.m. And then if some students arrive in the tuition center uh, before 7, let's say 6:45, and then actually in the tuition center, my teacher let us play computer games. Yeah, there are computers in another room, and then so we can play until the class starts at 7. So at that time, I remember that many students came earlier, yeah, just for the games. And there are only two computers, so not everybody can use. But they also enjoy to just stand uh, stand beside the player, and then to watch them playing. And then also they hope that the person that play the games, they lose, yeah, whenever they lost. And then because they play the games, uh, they take turns to play the game. So whenever somebody lost, and they will stand up, and then another person sit down and play. Yeah, so actually for this one, um, it is not that good. Yeah, and also the teacher realized it, because whenever the class starts, and because the game is too exciting, and the the students that uh, play the games or watch the games, they like to discuss the games they play just now. Yeah, and then it kind of uh, having some difficulties to bring them back to the class. And then yeah, I think that the only effective thing here is to make them arrive in on time every time to the class. And yeah, really they came earlier every time uh, to the class. And but also at the same time um, it also brings some disadvantage that I mentioned just now. They come in just for the game. Yeah, and then actually after that, the teacher uh, um, didn't allow us to play anymore. And yeah, and also at that time, because I was near to 13 years old, so it is kind of finished primary school. So I also stopped going to that tuition center. So I don't know the effect uh, of not allowing students to play games on in that tuition center. Yep. So um, yeah, these are my sharing today.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not very sure about the definition of gamification and the application of gamification. And
Mm,
uh, yeah, since you have done the study, and I want to ask you questions.
yeah.
What's the difference between the rewards and gamification?
Rewards and gamification. Uh, it seems like rewards itself. Uh, uh, Rewards is one type of. It's something that uh, come out very often in games. And then most of the games we play, we have the points. We can collect points, and most of the game we get the rewards after uh, we achieve something. And then because gamification is something like we kind of take out some feature of games. and then into something which is not a game. Yeah, and then so anything that related to that can be regarded as gamifications, and rewards is one of it. So many of the gamification example actually uh, um, include rewards, but it doesn't mean that rewards is a completely good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I came across something you asked me in the last conversation, that is rewards something really good, and then um, for this one also is something need to think about, because sometimes people do something because of the effect of gamifications. They really just go for that rewards, and uh, they actually didn't care about the main thing they are doing. Yeah, many of them just go for that because the rewards. So for here, I think it depends on your objective of the as the provider, and if the provider just want you to let's say uh, to stay more time in this app, in this particular app, and then and also if they continuously provide the rewards, and the rewards is not a very uh, big cost to them, then from a business point of view, I think this is something they like to do.
Yeah.
Yep. And then for my tuition class, and uh, last time we talked about candies as a reward, and then I think for here, if standing from a business point of view, candies uh, uh, as a reward to students, what I can get is their attention, and then um, for this one, maybe they will kind of too focus on rewards, and uh, they they couldn't they couldn't they couldn't have the attentions without rewards. And if let's say it is candies, it is not costly, and for me actually it is something that good to do, standing from a business point of view, because it is not uh, the candy is not expensive, and I can make it uh, forever. I mean the rewards, it is not expensive. I can have this every time, and then as long as it is effective, then it meet the objective that I have the students, and they like to come here. They enjoy it. Yeah, and from the business point of view, this is something. I think this is something good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, but I want to say the impact uh, is unsure.
Mm.
I, I, I couldn't confirm whether it will have a positive impact or negative impact on student itself, because you shift their focus. It seems like from a teacher point of view, you train them to chase the rewards. I'm not sure
Mm.
whether it's a good thing or not. They couldn't focus about the progress,
Yeah.
process. They focus about the goal, and you train
Mm.
them to become this kind of person.
Yeah.
And there is just one example.
Mm.
I didn't suggest you to do that. Yeah. I think you definitely know it, right?
What's that?
I mean, like giving the candies to your students when they get the good mark. This is just an example. I didn't suggest you to do that.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, about the Nozick Experience Machine. Yeah, and in that conversations, we actually discuss whether want to choose to enter the machine or not in order to get the happy. Yeah, and after doing some research, I found that I look at many sites like the Wikipedia and some other article. Mm, the reward of the machine provide you is actually not the happiness; it's actually the pleasure. Yeah, it is something that uh, is not consistent what I said uh, in that conversation, because in that conversation I assumed, or I look at the descriptions. This is the happy. Yeah. So if there is pleasure, and so that means because we know pleasure is a short-term thing, and only happiness is a long-term thing. So
Yeah.
if it just gives you the pleasure, I don't think uh, I I will enter the machines. Yeah. Yeah, but of course we can make different assumptions, which yeah, if pleasure you won't enter the machines, how about happiness? If happiness you may enter the machine. Mm.
Yeah.
And one of the perspective of this thought experiments is also just like what you say. You want to see whether people pursue something beyond the happiness or beyond the pleasure. For example, the responsibility. For example, like the sense of duty, the sense of reality. Yeah. And okay, I'm not going to say those people who choose enter the machine, they don't have sense of responsibility, or they don't have they don't care their family or that. I will also not going to say the people who choose not to enter the machines, they have sense of responsibility, or they have or they love their family, they love their reality. Uh, I would like to ask two questions first. Who what which type of person are more selfish in this case? Whether the person who choose enter the machines or the person who choose not to enter the machines. This is the first question. And the second question is, after we know that, if let's say in future we are able to have this kind of choice, what should we do? Yeah. So for the second question, that I'll explain. But would you like to try to answer the first question? Which type of person are more selfish?
Okay.
No need to take it serious. Just based on your rationale to answer the question.
Yeah. If the yeah, I think it's the person that
Who
choose
choose
the
enter the
machine.
machine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a common sense. Okay, but I want you to I want to introduce you a different perspective to look at the thing. Yeah, of course,
Okay.
this is just like giving the candies to students. This is not the absolute correct uh thinking methods, but it just gives you the different perspective to look at the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And okay, before going to before answering the question, I want to step back uh, a step one step first back first. We look at the pleasure and happiness, and there's a terms in this Nozick experience machine, which is called the hedonism. Hedonism means the 享乐主义. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the origins of this experiment is compared, the pleasure is not about the happiness. Yeah. So we need to look at the definition of hedonism. Yeah. And some people some people define hedonism is like they pursue the pleasure and they want the good thing in their life. They don't want the bad thing in their life. Yeah, and this is a good definition. But what if you just want the good things in your life, you don't want the bad thing in your life, then you won't feel happy in long term. Yeah, even though you get a lot of the pleasure, just like you get a lot of rewards, but it doesn't guarantee you will happy, will better off. Even though you get a lot of reward, but it doesn't mean that you're better off. Yeah, although you get a lot of points, but maybe those points is meaningless to your whole life. Yeah. So this is a criticism to the definition of hedonism. Yeah. So if this criticism makes sense, then hedonism is something like we shouldn't pursue, because this is something fake. This is just pursuing the pleasure, and if you're just pursuing the pleasure, it will not guarantee you happy long term. Yeah. So in this case, we shouldn't focus about hedonism if the definition of the hedonism is like this. Yeah, if the hedonism of if the definition of hedonism is focused about the happy, focus about the ultimate currency, the happiness, and then it's something like many people, most of people will pursue this kind of mindset, which is the hedonism. Okay, and this is the first thing which I want to distinguish about the pleasure and happiness. Okay, and look back to the thought experiments. One of the things we can study is we want to know that why people choose a form or choose a later, which is you choose enter the machine or not, or choose not to enter the machine. And we can look at this thing from the cost and benefit framework. Okay, whether this is a mental benefit to you or whether this is a mental cost to you. Okay, so I'll explain. Okay, if you think not entering the machines is a mental benefit of you, so maybe you can protect your family members, you can protect them, you can help them to become better person. You can grow your child and you can give them the love, and then you can give the love to your partner. Or is it just a mental cost? This is just a mental cost. It's come from the society. You don't want yourself to become that kind of irresponsible person. Yeah. Because if you enter the machines, the society, the social point of view is you are irresponsibility. You are not a responsible person. Yeah. So is it just a mental cost or is this a mental benefit for you when you're choosing not to enter the machines? Yeah. So this is the first thing, and this is very important because it can indirectly answer the first question. Yeah, and it also can indirectly answer the second question. What should we do? And so, if this is a mental benefit, if this is a mental benefit, you want to protect them, you want to help them to become better persons. Is this kind of mental benefit can be replaced by the machines? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it actually can, because when you enter the machines, you also can like protect the family in the simulation. So you also can feel the sense. You also can help them. You also can help the simulated persons,
Yeah.
your child, become a better type of person. Yeah. So this is something like the Nozick Experience Machine can replicate, can provide you this kind of mental benefits. Yeah. And what what disallow you, what prevents you to enter the machine actually is the mental cost. It's actually uh, you don't want the society view you as irresponsible persons, and you don't want the society view you as a hedonism type of person. You just pursue the pleasure, and you view pleasure above everything. You don't care your family member, and you don't care about the real things. You don't care about the reality. You just want to like you just like the smoker, keep smoking and don't care their health, and just want the pleasure, just just want the just want the nicotine which can make your brain feel short-term happy or feel the pleasure. And you just like the type of persons who stay at home all the all days and play the games. Yeah, they don't have responsibility. They don't go out for work. They don't think of like earn money and then uh, grow their children just like the light out persons. And also you don't work hard. You are lazy. Something you want to pursue something one fix all. Mm. You don't try to overcome the obstacle that you may face in your life. Yeah, you want to avoid all of these mental costs. Yeah. So mm, yeah, so we need to really understand that whether we choose not to go in the machines, whether it's because of mental benefit or it is a mental cost. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just now I already explained where the mental costs come from you. Where the mental costs come from. Uh, you have the sense that other people need you, no matter it's government, no matter it's student, no matter it's family member, no matter it's your friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why? Okay, first is this is they need you, and also this is the come from society. Okay, and then if you have the mental cost, what cause this? What caused the mental cost? What caused you to have the mental cost? What behavior you have done? Result that a result that you have this kind of mental cost. The first is you train them to become too dependent on you, and then so that they rely on you, they cannot lose you, they depend on you. And the second about the society, okay, just now that is for your family member, for your friends, or for maybe your student, your government, your champions to become too dependent on you. They couldn't lose you. So that means it seems like you have a sense of responsibility. You need to take care of them. Yeah. And the second is come from the society, come from society. Uh, whether you care their view, whether you are able to take to walk the way that less people walk, but it is a better way. It's a better route. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether you choose something normal, but it seems like not good, or whether you choose something uh abnormal, but it's something good. Yeah. So yeah, of course we didn't share whether follow follow the majority is good things or bad things. But if you didn't think about the question, so definitely you lose some of your perspective. Yeah. If you have things the questions and then you think, yeah, in this case I follow majority is a good things. Yeah, so that's okay. I just focus about whether we have the awareness or not. Yeah. Okay, so this the society is something that is not that important compared to the first one. You train person you love to become to become too dependent on you. And then how about their self-esteem? How about their happiness level? If they're too dependent on you, can they improve? Can they change their self-esteem from the dependent self-esteem to become interdependent self-esteem? Eventually become unconditional self-esteem. And how about their happiness level? You train them to become too dependent on you. They didn't cope. They didn't have the chance to put themselves on the line. They didn't cross obstacle, and their base happiness level didn't increase over time. Yeah. So by doing by having this kind of thoughts, and then you can ask back the questions, which is the first question: which type of person are most selfish? If the person who choose to enter the machines is because they already train their love to become interdependent, and they already tell them, and they already make them to become interdependent, so they don't need to rely on him or her. And the person care the self-esteem level, the happiness level of their love, so that they want them to do this. They want them to face obstacles. They want them to cope with the challenge, to put themselves in the line. And they don't want them to rely on them. Yeah. Yeah, of course, one of the things is they don't want to take the responsibility. It's also for sure. And the second thing is they want them to responsible for their own life. Yeah. So which type of person is more selfish? Yeah. So this is a thinking question. We don't need to answer, but it can keep in our mind. Yeah. So if you really, really, really put yourself into other people's shoes, you will care the most important thing in their life, which is like the happiness level, self-esteem level. And you won't care like you couldn't help them, you couldn't like you couldn't like grow them, you couldn't like be with them, they will cry, they were angry or something like that. Yeah. Okay. And this is about the first question. And how about the second question? What should we do after we realize all this? For example, the first, what should we do on our children? Teach them skill, ensure them can live even without you, without you. And it includes how to make money, how to earn money, how to do investments. And also teach them the nature of happiness, teach them about self-esteem, teach them there's no way to achieve long-term happiness unless you cope. Yeah. And you either learn to fail or fail to learn. There's no other way to success. Success is only three things. The formula of success comes from three things. Optimistic, which is belief, and passions and hard work. You need three of them. You cannot focus one of these things. You also need to teach them taking action is very important. And the last thing, you need to grow their interdependence. You need to let them to become the person that can take care of their life.
Yeah.
And what should we do on our parents? Ensure them can live even if without you. Which is the same things to do on your children. Yeah, you see, this world you couldn't rely on anyone. You really couldn't rely on anyone.
Yep.
Yeah, you may say a child, a kids, a baby need to rely on other people. Yeah, it's true. And how about the person who very, very old? Yeah, they also need to rely on other people. But this doesn't mean that they need to rely on you. Just like the orphan house can take care of the child. Just like uh, the old people's house, the old people's homes, or the nurse, the nurse homes. Yeah, can take care the old people.
Yeah.
And what if you die before they die? You die before they get old. They still need to find a way to outsource this nurse nursery task to the markets when they get old. Yeah. So they need to find the service, they need to find where they can go. And yeah, if they don't have money, and what they need to do. Yeah.
Yep.
So how to adapt that kind of life, yeah, and how to pursue the real happiness. So you won't feel like, yeah, my children don't want me. You won't focus about the external things. Yeah, yeah. Of course, your children don't want you. In some circumstances, it could be the internal things. But if you think in other perspective, which is your children have their own life and they want to pursue something they want, they pursue their passions. Yeah, and it's better for some other people which their child busy on the work, keep busy on the work, and they work for money, but at the end they don't know why they want to earn that money, and they pursue something which is unlimited, which is the money, which something central bank can print unlimited things. They pursue something unlimited things rather than pursue something which have the time to stay with you, which is your time is limited. His time is also limited. Yeah, it's more pity. Yeah. So yeah, the first thing you can do on your parents, we can do on our parents is ensure them can live even without us. So this is also the things the from the one perspective, we need to teach them the skill, and also we may need to tell them, we may need to grow their mindset to keep doing exercise so they can protect themselves when they get old. They won't get a physical uh, uh, a physical health problem. They won't get like a serious illness. Yeah, and we also can teach them the happiness, and we also maybe we also need to leave them some money, so uh, so they can like live with the money. So this is something that is more difficult. It's more difficult to do than just don't enter the machines. You don't enter the machine. You be with them. You still busy at work. You still no time uh to be together with your child, with your parents. This is just fulfill the sense of responsibility, but you actually didn't do anything. You didn't do anything meaningful to them. And okay, and this is something that what we should do, what we can do. Yeah, if you choose to enter the machines, okay. Yeah, if you choose to enter the machines, but of course now we cannot have, we don't have the option. But what if in future, yeah, maybe 5 years later, 10 years later, we have the option, and Are you able to prepare for that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay. And this is the first part, and the second part of the what should we do is which type of person, which type of parents, you want to become. Yeah, and also the second question is which parents love their children more. Yeah, it's the parents who will protect their children at all times, and don't want their children experience pain, and they want their children depends and rely on them. Yeah, or the parents who don't want to protect their children where where the situation will not kill the child, their children, or cause irreversible consequences. So that means uh, maybe your child is innocent and they don't know why it's dangerous. Yeah, of course you need to tell them, you need to protect them, you need to teach them. Yeah, but besides of that, the parents don't want to protect their children. Yeah, if it will not cause the irreversible consequences, it will not kill the child. The parents don't want to protect the children, and also the parents is very cruel. It's very cruel because they want their children to experience pain. They want their children to experience pain, and also they don't want. They also very cruel. They don't want their children to depend and rely on them. Yeah. And which type of parents you want to become? The later or the former? Which parents love their children more? The later or the former? Yeah. Of course, many people think the later, the second one, which is the parents who don't protect their children at all times. Is a parent who love their children more.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, and also they want to become this kind of person, not to become this kind of parent. But what their behavior? What is their behavior?
Yeah, it's easy to say than to do, right?
They actually is a former. They actually is a former parents. They are not. They are not the later parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is all the uh philosophy perspective. Okay. And now I want to uh, say something say something unrelated to the thing I mentioned above. Okay.
Okay.
We should also give you another perspective. This is a non-philosophy thought to think whether we choose to enter the machine or choose not to enter the machine. Yeah. And you see, okay, and the thing I want to say in the following minutes is unrelated to just now what I have said. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a line here. Okay. And we can have different perspective to think whether we want to choose to enter the machine or choose not to enter the machine. And because when we enter the machine and the machine guarantees us to feel happy, and what if the machine can give you the happy, but they cannot maximize the happiness? They can guarantee you feel happy, but they won't guarantee you and they couldn't understand what the maximum happiness that that the machine is able to give you. So that means the machine may not give you the maximum long-term happiness level. Yeah, of course, you feel happy, but it is not at the potential you may achieve in real life. So, in which case, the potential of the long-term happiness we can achieve in real life can outperform, can more than happiness we get in machines. Yeah, you may have one perspective, which is because the machine the machine first, it mentioned that after you enter the machine you cannot go out. So what if in future reality. Maybe after 5 years, after 10 years, I mean, 10 years, 5 years or 10 years or 10 years after the machine created, after the machine invented, there's new version of machine that allow you to go in and then you can go out. Yeah. So could it become a reason that you don't enter the machine because you believe in the future they will have another machine to allow you to go in, go out? Yeah. So it's possible, right? It's possible.
Yep.
Yeah. So in this case, you may not choose to go into the machine because you can achieve the reality at the same time. You can pursue the reality, the sense of real. At the same time, you also can pursue the happiness level. And also, because there are so many experts work for this, there's so many experts in the reality, and their imagination is unlimited, and their capability, their abilities unlimited. They can create something that you can't imagine. They can provide you happiness, the highest level happiness that beyond your expectation. So it's something that you may not get in the machines. Yeah. But you can get in the reality. Maybe through the VR. Yeah. Just like the VR technology, maybe we can feel the sense. We can touch, we can smell, we can eat, we can taste. And you don't need to go into the machine, and you also can achieve the same thing. Yes. Yeah. So there's no reason for you to enter the machines. Yeah. Okay. So this is the first topic I want to make a review. Nozick Experience Machine.
Yeah.
So before I go to the next topic, do you have anything you want to add in?
Yeah, I think you can continue.
Okay. And the second topic I want to make a review is about the Stockdale paradox. And in that conversation, we mentioned about belief and reality is important, and also taking action is so important, because only you take action, you really feel the reality. You really take the reality into serious. Yeah. And we also mentioned about the ABC, the affect, behavior, connection. And we need three of these things. We cannot just do one thing. We cannot just do two things. We need to do three of them. So we beside of have the connection, have the thoughts, beside of have the attitude, the affect, we also need to take action. We also need to behave. And according to self perception theory, and as we behave, as we behave more, we believe more. Yeah. And if we don't act, and the attitude and the behavior cannot be inconsistent for too long time, and your behavior would drag your attitude back to the level. Yeah. And I want to mention one additional thing about the belief. Yeah. And in that conversation, we mentioned about the taking action. We mentioned about the behavior a lot already. And so here I want to mention more about belief. And in the Stockdale paradox, in the story of James Stockdale, we know that he's not only taking action, he also believes, and he also faces the reality. And one thing more is he believed that he can go out, and also he believed that this output event eventually will become the meaning of his life. Yeah. So this is not just about the belief. He turns the event to become a meaning of the life. So let me explain. The James Stockdale believed that after he overcome this obstacle, and it will become one of his life story, and he don't want to exchange it to other people. Yeah, no matter how much money you want to give me, I won't exchange it to you. Yeah, and it become one of his most precious story, one precious life story, one most precious experience. Yeah, and this is I could say this is not a sim uh not a not a low level of belief. This kind of belief is at a very high level. Now, some people may think, those people who think they will go out before Christmas, those people who think they will go out before the uh, the, the next New Year, and what what's inside their mind? What's inside their mind? They believe they can go out, and after they go out, they can have a dinner with their family. Yeah, they can kiss their child, they can kiss their partner. Yeah, they believe on this kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
James Stockdale, they believe after they go out, it only will give them the freedoms. They also can teach their children. They also can be with their partner, and also it will become one of his life story. And he don't want to exchange this experience with other people, no matter how much money you give them. And how about the later ones? Maybe the person said, "Yeah, I don't want to experience this anymore. Yeah, he's so glad I can go out, I can come out, but uh, if give me one, if give me one more time to choose, yeah, whether uh, whether I would choose go in, or whether I would choose uh, if there's a chance that prevent me to uh, not to go in, not to go in the prison, and I would choose not to go in the prison." Yeah, but the James Stockdale say that he wouldn't exchange this experience with other people. So that means if there's a chance to give me go back go back to the past, and then it can prevent them, it can prevent him to not having this kind of experience, this awful experience. He wouldn't take the option. He will still follow the path. He will still choose going to the prison, and after that, after he overcome all the obstacles, it become one of his life story. It become the meaning of his life. Yeah, and here we can like categorize them into two things.
Okay.
Okay, the first is goal-based belief, something that you believe you can achieve, you can overcome. And after overcome it, everything will be set off. Your life will be easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't enjoy the process. The goal-based, just like what we learned in the atomic habit. And the second one is identity-based belief. Yeah, of course, you believe that you can overcome it, you can achieve it, and not only that, you think this is a test to you. This is a test to make you become a better person. You become yourself. You become more you. Yeah, this event let you become more you. Yeah. So, which kind of belief is more stronger? Yeah, definitely it's a quote unquote identity based belief, and it's the belief that Stockdale having. Yeah. Okay, so that's all for my sharing.
Yep. So for the Stockdale story just now, and two type of person, and I think for Stockdale is himself, all those experience to him is something like you say, like a test, like a lesson. And for the others, to them that is the bad dream, right?
Mm.
Mm. Yep.
Okay, anything want to add in?
No.
Okay, so that's all for our today conversation. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake we make, please also comment to let us know. Because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.